Hi, grade 4. Good morning to everyone. Now let us have our lesson for today. For our value for this month, let us have the leadership. So this is not about the title. It's all about that you are going to inspire others. Okay, do good things to make an inspiration, to be an inspiration to others. Now let us begin. So get your book and turn it on page 83 to 85 in your workbook, and later on we will have our workbook. So for our topic for this day, the history of ancient Egypt. Okay, for our objectives, number 1, identify the history of ancient Egypt. And number 2, we are going to list down the dynasties of ancient Egypt. Okay? Now let us have the critical thinking. If you become a king or a queen of today's civilization, how will you change the world? Okay. So maybe you cannot answer it as now. You can just focus on our discussion. Then later on, maybe you will have your answer. Then you can write it on a piece of paper and make a photo, take a photo, and send it to Class Dojo. Now let us have our recap for our lesson. So, our previous lesson was the geography of ancient Egypt. Now, why Egypt was known as a gift of nine? Okay, it is known as a gift of nine because without this, Egypt maybe it is only having one soil, the red soil. So gift of Nile served as their source of water, and people get water from it, and they can plant different crops, and they can raise animals. So without this, maybe the Egypt is one big red soil. So number 2, what's the difference between red soil and black soil? So red soil is the one that it's like a desert. So red soil is desert. That helps the people in Egypt to not let the other people from other countries come inside of their country. And this help also people to get precious metals and precious stones. Okay? So the black soil, this help the people raise animals and plant different crops. Okay, so that's the difference. It's fertile soil. The black soil is a fertile soil and red soil is the desert. Now let us continue. So for our discussion, let us have first the history of ancient Egypt. The Pharaohic civilization dates back 3000 BC up until Alexander the Great conquered Egypt in 323 BC. So this started the civilization in ancient Egypt. Next. So this picture shows that the Egypt is being divided into two kingdoms, the Lower Egypt and the Upper Egypt. Okay, and the Western Desert and the Eastern Desert, these are the red soil, if you still remember our previous topic. And those who are living nearby the River of Nile, these are the black soil. Those are people who are living in the black soil or black part of black soil. Now, historians divided the Pharaonic era into 3 successive divisions. So, Old Kingdom and Modern Kingdom. And the Pharaonic era further divided into 31 dynasties as follows. So, they have 31 dynasties. Now, let us have first the succession of rulers from the same family. So, dynasty means a succession of rulers from the same family. So, they are 31 dynasties. Okay, so now let us continue. Now, the ancient age dynasties, or the first and the second dynasties that ruled under 2700 BC. This is the most famous ruler in this era. It was Menes, who managed to unify Upper and Lower Egypt. He is the one who managed the Egypt from lower part to the upper part of Egypt. And you know already that the lower part and upper part starts from the southern part to the northern part and up to the Mediterranean Sea. And he also established the city of Memphis near the delta. So he is the one who established this city. Now let us have the next one. The Old Kingdom dynasties. In the Old Kingdom dynasties, the third to the sixth dynasties, okay, that ruled from 2700 BC to 2200 BC. This is after the first dynasty. During the Old Kingdom, Egypt enjoyed stability, security, and peace. Therefore, economic, cultural, and artistic achievements flourished during this era. This was really presented in the building of the three pyramids, Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure. At this time, they are already established. Okay, so the civilization is already established. That's why they built the pyramids of Egypt. Okay, that until now it's still standing, and it reminds about the civilization of Egypt from the past. Okay, next. Now, the first Middle Kingdom dynasties, this is from the 7th to the 14th dynasty. This age began in 2200 BC and ended in 1700 BC. It started when Mentro, this is the leader, the second, the Prince of Thebes, managed to reunify the country and founded a strong government. Egypt flourished economically. Okay, so this is already established, and he gives more power to have a good establishment and to have a good civilization. Okay, so now let us have for this. Now, in this era, from the first to this kingdom, to this dynasty, the Egypt becomes more, they are abundant, they have abundant, and it shows that because of the different pyramids, they become civilized. Okay? They are civilized already. And more on when they had another dynasties after these dynasties. Now we only showed you, I only showed you about the dynasties up to this dynasty. Okay, on the next meeting, this only the introduction for this topic. On the next meeting, we are going to discuss other dynasties. Okay, now let us have first our practice for this topic. Okay, for our practice, now get your book and turn it on page 59. So these are the different answers for our workbook. And then after that, you are going to answer the next page, number 5, delta, number 6, Aswan, number 7, Herodotus, and number 8, North. Okay, so let us have the next one. So we have 2 seas, Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea. And the next one is the Upper Kingdom and the Lower Kingdom. Rivers, there's only one river, which is the Nile River. And we have the barren desert. Then the cities, I only put 2 cities on this answer. We have the Cairo and Alexandria. Now for question 3, what are the boundaries of ancient Egypt? Then, question letter B, what was the most important geographic feature of in ancient Egypt? So, for question 4, this is the answer. Then, the letter B. Then, in individual assessment, let us have this question 5 on page 62. Okay, so we will continue our lesson for this topic next meeting. Bye, kids!